Hi, Charles County. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Fiscal, Budget Bites, where we take what's happening in the budget process and put it into condensed form so you know what's happening this week in your budget news. I'm joined by Jake Dyer from Fiscal and Admin Services, here to explain everything we need to know about what happened this week in the budget. Jake, thanks for being here as always.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, so Jake, we talked on Tuesday, April the 16th with the commissioners. You presented and you had two different sessions, right?
Yes. So on the 16th in the morning, we first went over our general fund proposed budget. That's a proposed budget in balance of $559,743,200.
And when we say in balance, that means
Our revenues are paying for our expenses.
so everything that comes in goes out and we're not spending more than what comes in.
Correct.
Beautiful.
So we went over a brief overview of what our revenue picture looks like. Spoiler alert, we're not suggesting the commissioners raise any tax rates to cover our expenses. So we did a brief revenue overview. We did a really quick brief overview of the entire expenditure picture. And then from there, we focused a lot on our county agencies. That's your Board of Education, the Sheriff's Office, Library, Costello, Maryland State's Attorney, Circuit Court, and so forth. So we went over each of their budgets. We presented to the commissioners what they requested, what was in the proposed budget, and then we turned it over to them to speak to the commissioners.
Kind of into the details.
Yes.
Because these are the partner agencies, and I know we have a past episode on this. These are the partner agencies where the commissioners provide the funding, but that agency is in charge of managing that funding.
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we did that in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we focused on our governmental capital improvement program.
Okay.
This is the program, the capital improvement program that funds your school projects, your college projects, park projects, road projects, and your building infrastructure projects. So we went over that.
So it's the big stuff.
The big stuff, so that most people understand and can get excited about.
Yeah.
So so we went over that. We kind of highlighted some of the projects that are in the plan, what changed from the previous year, and any new projects that we're able to fit in. Our capital improvement program is all driven by our debt affordability model, which really dictates on our revenue picture. So in the morning, we go over the commissioners what the revenues look like, and then it dovetails into what we can afford into a capital improvement program.
So, we know that we've got this much money coming in, so this is how we can manage the upcoming big projects. So we make sure we're not spending more than what that big project can afford.
Correct. We have a policy that says only 8% of our budget can go towards debt service. So that's of our revenues, 8% can go towards our mortgage payment.
That makes sense.
Okay. So we went over that. So we will all that information. It was reviewed the commissioners in open session, and anyone can certainly watch it to get a better understanding of what we went over.
Beautiful. All right. And then coming up next week, we have on Tuesday, April the 23rd.
Yes.
What are you going to be talking about to the commissioners during their Board of County Commissioners meeting?
We are going to continue the general fund discussion. That one will focus on our county departments. That's your emergency services, recreation, parks and tourism, public works, community services, and so forth, and all the other budgets that the general fund supports. So we'll do that in the morning. We'll also highlight any other maybe needs that the commissioners might want to bring up. At that point, we could discuss anything because it kind of ends our general fund discussion. So we'll go over anything they want. And then on the very next day, on the 24th, and before we go into our public hearing, we do have a schedule with the towns to do our tax differential meeting, which is you have to meet and confer with the towns of La Plata and Indian Head on a tax differential model. So we'll do that. And then in the afternoon, after it works, we'll do our public hearing on the budget.
Beautiful. Okay. And Jake, if you've never been to the public hearing, I know we really want people to come out this year because it's such a great educational event and way to, learn about what's going on and see it. Give us the kind of 30-second overview of what to expect that evening, what it looks like, how it runs.
Sure. The public hearing starts off with a presentation by myself. Deb Hall will participate, as well as other budget staff will do a PowerPoint presentation on the entire budget. It will focus on the general fund, the capital improvement program, our enterprise funds. We also focus on any fees and charges that are going to be new fees that we're adding to our list. And then once we provide that presentation, then it gets turned over to the public to speak on that. There's a sign-in list when they come into to the hearing, and Carol DeSoto, our clerk, will call you out one by one, and you come up and you have a time limit and you speak to what your thoughts are on the budget.
And it can be anything. People are welcome to come in and talk about what they like, what they don't like, what they'd like to see. It's just a public hearing like any of our other open meetings, yeah?
And just stay on topic, talk about the budget.
I love that the only rule is, can it have something to do with the budget, please?
Yes.
That's a good rule to remember. So we hope that if you are tuning in today, that you'll come out on the 24th for the public hearing and give your thoughts on what's happening with the budget. Jake, thanks for giving people the background knowledge so they know on the 24th what to expect, and for giving us an overview of what's going on this week.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in, Charles County. We love that you want to know more about what's going on with our fiscal and admin services, specifically the budget process, and we'll look forward to talking with you next week. Take care, stay safe, stay engaged. For more information on Charles County government, visit our website, www.charlescountymd.gov. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe to the county's e-news. Also, don't forget to sign up for our text and email alerts through the Citizen Notification System. You can watch CCG TV on Comcast Channel 95 or Verizon Fios 10, and we're streaming on Apple TV and Roku devices. Just search Charles County Government. You can also subscribe to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts by searching Charles County Government. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel,